take a look at what just happened. And this is what we were talking about. Coming onto pit road, going 200 miles an hour down to 55. Hornaday trying to get off of the track and on pit road. Yeah, Todd was not going to pit. Didn't look like was going to go to the pits with him, and pulled out, and Jason White drove right into the back of him. Now you see the 46 gets stuck in the middle, but he's determined to pit. Somehow he got up off the bottom. He's got to pit and just turns across Max.
You know, the problem, Max had plenty of room down there.
Just make a left.
Turn left. The double yellow line is racing. It doesn't say you can't go below the double yellow line to make a pit stop, because you have to go below it.
You see Jennifer Joe's not a part of the problem. That's way before they get to coming off pit road. It looked like Max, I don't know where he was going, but it didn't work because of the combination of where Craig Ghost was going. That's what's so frustrating to sit here and watch. That's the why. You've got more room to operate down there than you do anywhere on the whole circuit, but yet we can't work out making it to pit road without a problem. And like you said, Phil, it happens every year. And this time it's happened every lap we've tried to pit.
Sure has. You know, Jason White has damage. He ran in the back of Todd Bodine. Todd has damage. Ray reported front and rear. I believe I would put some material instead of that barrier bond on the front of that 30 truck of Todd Bodine.
Yeah, I believe Mike and those guys need to get some aluminum out and put a patch underneath that barrier bond so that front can keep, you know, it's got to stand up to 200 miles an hour worth of wind if he gets out in front. And there's still a lot of laps to go. 33 laps remaining in this race, which is a full fuel run at this racetrack. And oh, by the way, Chris Fontaine in that 84, he's out front. I believe I might duck over onto that apron. On the apron, maybe.
Well, remember, Chris Fontaine is one of the guys that pitted on lap number 31, so he had 5 extra laps of fuel than all the cars that pitted, or trucks that pitted on lap number 26.
Fontaine, Eric Almirola, Grafton, Sauter, Busch.
James Buescher now is a lap down. Remember, he made his pit stop. He and Ricky Carmichael came out behind the lead pack. James Buescher, I think, will get the Aaron's lucky dog. Ricky Carmichael would be stuck 1 lap down now with a good truck.
Well, and plus the chance that I'm sure he'll get the wave around. He'll be in front of all the other trucks. So those guys that pitted early that got a lap down will get the wave around. Krista.
Kyle Busch, one of those trucks that came in on lap 31 to top off, but he had a lucky break because they had been planning to come in on lap 59. Kyle didn't know when lap 59 occurred. Had he come in, he would have been stuck before that caution came out. He said, Eric Phillips, even though I didn't know what lap it was, good job. 4 tires and fuel for the 18.
Chris Fontaine comes in as the leader, and this may be the gamble you were talking about, Michael. It looks like they're going to do right side tires only on this number 84. They've got a bit of a hang up on the right side for some sort of a problem there, so they'll continue to work on that, but doing right side tires only to try to keep some of this great track position that they've gained after this caution. Adam?
And you saw Eric Almirola on pit road, middle of your screen, a 4-tire stop for him, and it appeared there were some struggles on the right side. He's going to lose some track position as he exits, but Richie Waters, his crew chief, said this, as you see Fontaine leaving pit road first. He said, we cannot afford to ride now to driver Eric Almirola. There's not enough time left. Stay out front. We need the track position.
Topping it off with fuel, that is for Ron Hornaday, and working on that right side.
He's working on the right side right now. You heard him, Adam, he shut the engine off to save some of that fuel.
Yeah, well, they knew they had to come back down from a fuel mileage standpoint, so they wanted to go ahead and take an opportunity to work on the right rear. So Hornaday is back in. They've topped off the fuel tank, and they are getting that right rear repaired. A tough break for the pole sitter in a way, but he's going to have plenty of time to rally back to the front.
So they're working on the right rear. That's where Todd Bodine got into it, and really a can opener the left front of his truck, where that peeled off part of the front end of that Toyota Tundra. Take another look. These two are out front, 1 and 2. Hornaday peels off. Well, Bodine doesn't slow down enough. I don't understand where they were all going. The spotters generally, Rick, will communicate. 33 will tell 30, and they'll tell the 23 exactly what everybody's doing. Communication didn't work out there, and Max Pappas slides through and into the inside wall. Stay with us here on Speed. And welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway. The Mountain Dew 250 presented on Speed by Dodge. Continuing, our Aaron's lucky dog goes to the 31 of James Buescher. We had 3 wave-around trucks, the 4 of Ricky Carmichael, the 28 by Andy Lally, and the 57 of Norm Benning. Green flag back in the air. Great start by Chris Fontaine. Got the jump.
Good strategy, too. 2 tires to stay out front.
Looks like they had a bit of a rub or something on the right front fender. Beat that out. Got 2 tires and still grabbed the lead. But it looks like Jason White has got a big run on the outside with
Crafton in front in that 88 on that high line. We'll see if that outside line is going to work. Jay White gets to the front on the inside line, and here comes Crafton on the outside.
Left Austin Dillon hanging, didn't he?
Sure did.
You're clear. He's not yet.
Remember, we saw Kyle Busch pushing Matt Crafton earlier. May push him to the lead right here.
And that was, we just heard Matt Crafton's spotter say, you're clear, he's not yet. And that's a great piece of information because those guys are working together. He doesn't want to hang the guy that pushed him up there out.
And that's what I was talking about before. You have to be cognizant of who you're racing with and whether he gets clear when you're trying to make a pass.
There's Kyle Busch giving Crafton that push. Pushed him down into turn 1.
They are clear, and so now they drop down to the bottom of the racetrack. The 88 and 18. Can they check out on this field now if they stay nose to tail?
Guys, we're seeing more and more pushing, trying to gain space, trying to make their way to the front. The more you push, the more chances you take. Don't take it for granted these guys are going to just be able to push each other and keep going straight. Sometimes the truck will get away from you.
17 trucks are on the lead lap. Timothy Peters scored in the 17th position.
How about Todd Bodine? He was one of the trucks pitted too soon, had to go to the back of the pack. And look at him, he's racing in the top 10. Got pushed a little bit by Hornaday. He's right behind the 5 of Skinner.
You see those things jumping around? One of them's going to jump around in the wrong direction in a minute.
Out in front, Matt Crafton leading laps at Talladega. Right behind him, Kyle Busch. He hasn't led a lap yet. Looking to lead a lap for those 5 bonus points and that all-important Owners Championship he's running for.
And it looks like Todd Bodine is determined that he's not going to do it. Todd's racing his race right now. He's saying, I'm going to go get the lead before Kyle Busch can get it.
Kyle Busch will keep his eye on the rearview mirror.
Look at those
Checking
speeds.
Out that 23 of Jason White. Yeah, how about that?
193 miles an hour these guys are going around here, pushing each other.
Yeah, pushing on each other.
Mike Skinner on the outside line. He's got Todd Bodine behind him. Right behind them, it's Hornaday.
What about the names in there with Hornaday and Busch? Chris Fontaine, Jason White.
Watch out for this lap truck here on the inside.
Remember what happened when we went 3 wide right there before? We had a crash.
Everybody gets by that 39 of Ryan Sieg.
Bodine to the outside.
Bodine goes to the outside of the 5. Hangs out Mike Skinner in the middle.
Top of
Here
3.
comes the 2 with the 33.
On the very bottom, middle's open.
Teammates behind that 30 of Todd Bodine.
See that
now,
push
the
right there?
inside line's coming.
Did you see that push?
From the 51 of Almirola on the 5 of Skinner.
Up the middle pushing too. You know, if that thing weaves one way or the other, there's nowhere to hide.
Remember, we saw Matt Crafton, Johnny Sauter, Eric Almirola. They fell way back. They were almost 2 football fields behind the main pack. Well, now they are right in the middle of it. We got Crafton out in front, Johnny Sauter, and the 51 of Eric Almirola. Those 2 trucks are trying to make their way to the front using the outside line.
Okay, if these guys were racing like this with 5 to go, I'd be nervous. But man, we still got 20-some laps to go. This is out of control. You can't run 20 laps like this without wrecking.
Here comes Kyle Busch. He makes the move to the outside of the 88. He has help. It looks as though Kyle Busch is going to get the shove to the front, but can he hold on to it?
What about Skinner up on the high side with help?
With Almirola behind him.
Almirola is so strong at this racetrack. He has been able to push Kyle Busch to a win. Can he push Mike Skinner to the lead?
How about Jason White right on the rear tailgate of the 18.
Oh, there they go.
Down to the infield, almost infield, the apron. We saw a truck make a hard left turn onto the apron, but we stay green. 3 wide through the tri-oval. Kyle Busch is going to lead a lap here at Talladega.
Kyle got 1 before Todd could. That tightens our Owners Championship battle up. Another 5 points in Kyle Busch's column.
Kyle Busch in front now. Jason White, Mike Skinner, Todd Bodine, Matt Crafton, all in that bunch up front.
Do you see the rear tailgate of the 3 truck there of Austin Dillon? A lot of damage to that rear tailgate.
Look at all the tape on the front of Todd Bodine's truck. It's starting to ravel off.
Look at the back of the 46 of Craig Ghost. That's from pushing and beating and banging.
Clear. They're all around.
Riding along with Austin Dillon. There's that sun that they were talking about.
Yeah, but now it's gone, see. He's clear racetrack now.
2 wide through the tri-oval. Again, it's Kyle Busch, Jason White, 1 and 2. Todd Bodine running 3rd.
Is that fender of Todd Bodine's together enough, Phil, where he can lead this race? I know he can run second and third. There's no question about that. But can he pull out and make a move with his fender all wrinkled up on the left front?
A lot of tape, a lot of Barabond X-Flex tape on that truck right now. Don't know if it's flapping too much.
So many times you hear teams talking about how they massage these trucks to run at super speedways.
Somebody's clobbered Craig Ghost. You can see the left rear fender all bent up on that truck. That'll definitely hurt him.
See a little bit of that tape flapping now. If a lot of that tape comes off of that 30 truck of Todd Bodine, then he may drop like a stone. As you mentioned, there's no way he could lead.
Boy, I don't like this. This is too crazy for this early.
24 laps. It'll be 23 laps when they cross the stripe this time. Kyle Busch in front.
They're just
looking to go back to back here.
They're just too aggressive right now, Phil. Pushing too hard for this early.
And remember, these trucks aren't like the Sprint Cup cars. They don't line up nearly as well as the Sprint Cup cars. As a matter of fact, they really don't even line up.
That's right. That's correct.
You're with a good push.
You hearing? Give you a push. Jason
30
White
pushing a 23 behind you.
Just behind
81 pushing you
the 18,
still. Right,
and now we're seeing the 81 push his teammate, the 5 of Mike Skinner. Not teammates.
Used to be teammates.
Used to be teammates. David
now they don't even like each other. You hear him earlier? I'm not going to play with him anymore if he does that again.
But they're working together on the racetrack.
He has to leave my sandbox.
Yeah, right.
Hey guys, I just wanted to add to what Phil was saying about the bumpers not lining up. I talked with Todd Bodine at length yesterday, and he said, I promise you at Daytona, you can never bump draft with these things because we have so much rebound in our shocks because it's a really rough racetrack, or at least it has been in the past. But Talladega is so smooth, he said, we dropped the front end of these trucks down so far, you can run your bumper, the front bumper of your truck completely under the guy in front of you's bumper and use the grill of your truck to push. So he said in those last couple laps, don't be surprised to see the most bump drafting you've ever seen in a truck race here at Talladega.
Okay, and I can just tell you, Ray, that's a bad idea. Because when you go up under the rear bumper and get your grill in there, you're going to start lifting those rear tires off the ground, and that's why these things are jumping all over the place.
Yes, they are. They're jumping all over the place. 22 laps to go from Talladega. Out in front, Kyle Busch looking to go back-to-back here.